The coffee shop was crowded that Tuesday afternoon, filled with the usual symphony of clinking cups and muffled conversations. But nothing could have prepared 23-year-old waiter Marcus Chen for the moment that would change two lives forever, when a trembling voice cut through the noise like a knife through silence. "Please don't push me away, I'm scared." Marcus had been wiping down tables near the entrance when he first noticed her. A young woman, probably in her early 20s, stood just inside the doorway, one hand gripping a white cane while the other reached tentatively into the air before her. Her sunglasses couldn't hide the fear etched across her delicate features, and her whole body seemed to vibrate with anxiety as the lunchtime crowd swirled around her like water around a stone. Most people barely glanced her way. A businessman brushed past, absorbed in his phone. A group of college students laughed loudly at a nearby table, oblivious. In that moment, Marcus saw something that made his chest tighten. The girl was about to be knocked over by a woman carrying an overstuffed tote bag, completely unaware of the obstacle in her path. Without thinking, Marcus dropped his cleaning cloth and moved quickly, gently placing himself between them. "Excuse me," he said softly, his hand barely touching her elbow. "Would you like some help finding a seat?" That's when she said it, her voice barely above a whisper but heavy with desperation. "Please don't push me away, I'm scared." The words hit Marcus like a physical blow. Her name was Emma, he would soon learn, and this was her first time venturing out alone since losing her sight in a car accident 6 months earlier. The same accident that had taken her mother's life. "I won't push you away," Marcus promised, his voice steady despite the emotion swelling in his throat. "I'm Marcus. I work here, and I'd be honored to help you. Is that okay?" Emma's shoulders sagged with relief. "Yes, please. I couldn't get a ride, and my phone died, and I promised my dad I'd try to do this on my own, but the buses, the noise, everything is so different when you can't." Her voice cracked. "I don't even know where I am exactly. I was trying to find the bakery 2 blocks from my apartment, the one my mom used to take me to every Sunday." Marcus felt something shift inside him. His own mother had immigrated from Taiwan alone, working 3 jobs to give him opportunities she'd never had. She'd taught him that kindness wasn't just about grand gestures, it was about showing up for people in their most vulnerable moments. "You're at Bruno's coffee shop," Marcus explained gently, guiding her carefully to a quiet corner booth. "The bakery you're looking for, Sunrise Bakery, right? With the yellow awning. That's my aunt's place. I grew up there." Emma's face transformed. "You know it. Know it. I used to steal cookies from the cooling racks every Saturday." Marcus smiled, even though she couldn't see it. Something told him she'd hear it in his voice. "Tell you what, my shift ends in 20 minutes. How about I make you the best coffee in the city while you wait, and then I'll walk you there myself. My aunt would never forgive me if I let one of her future customers get lost." For the first time since entering, Emma smiled. It was small, fragile, but real. As Marcus prepared her coffee, his manager, Derek, appeared at his elbow. "Chen, you've got 4 tables waiting. What are you doing?" Marcus glanced back at Emma, sitting alone in the booth, her fingers tracing the edge of the table as if memorizing its shape. "I'm helping a customer, Derek. I'll be quick." "Not quick enough. Either get back to your section or find someone else to play hero." The old Marcus, the one who'd arrived in San Francisco 3 years ago, desperate for any job that would help pay his student loans, might have complied. But the man he'd become, shaped by his mother's sacrifice and his own struggles, couldn't walk away. "Then I guess I'm done early today," Marcus said quietly, untying his apron. Derek's face reddened. "You're seriously choosing some random girl over your job?" "I'm choosing to be the kind of person my mother raised me to be." Marcus placed the apron on the counter. "She's not random. She's someone who needs help, and I'm someone who can give it." When Marcus returned to Emma's table carrying 2 coffees, one for her, one for the journey, she had tears streaming down her cheeks. "I heard that," she whispered. "You didn't have to." "Yes, I did," Marcus interrupted gently. "Besides, Derek's been looking for an excuse to fire me for months. I'm terrible at upselling muffins." It wasn't entirely a joke, but Emma laughed anyway, and the sound filled something hollow inside him. Over the next hour, Marcus didn't just walk Emma to the bakery. He described everything they passed: the flower vendor with buckets of sunflowers, the street musician playing classical guitar, the children's laughter from the playground across the street. He painted the world with words, and Emma drank in every detail like someone dying of thirst. At Sunrise Bakery, his Aunt May took one look at them and understood everything without explanation. She'd been preparing to close early, but instead, she ushered Emma inside and began describing each pastry's history. The Portuguese custard tarts her own grandmother had taught her to make, the sourdough bread that took 3 days to perfect. My mom and I used to share the almond croissant, Emma said softly, touching the display case glass. She always said they tasted like Sunday mornings felt. Aunt May's eyes glistened. Without a word, she packaged up a still warm almond croissant. This one's on the house. For your mother. But it was what happened next that Marcus would remember for the rest of his life. Emma pulled out her phone, now charged with a borrowed battery pack, and called her father. Dad, I did it. I made it to the bakery. And Dad, I met someone kind. I met people who cared. Her voice broke. I think I'm going to be okay. 3 months later, Marcus stood in that same bakery, but everything was different. Emma was there too, no longer trembling but confident, teaching a blind navigation class she'd started for others in her situation. She'd insisted on hosting it at Sunrise Bakery, the place where she'd rediscovered hope. Marcus had been hired as the bakery's new manager. Aunt May had been planning retirement anyway, and he'd started a program offering free coffee and pastries to anyone going through difficult times, no questions asked. You know what the best part is? Emma said, finding Marcus by sound alone now, her spatial awareness transformed by practice and determination. That day you helped me, you didn't just keep me from getting lost. You showed me that the world still had light in it, even if I couldn't see it. Marcus thought about that moment in the coffee shop, about the choice between keeping a job and keeping his humanity. It hadn't felt like a choice at all. You taught me something too, he replied. That sometimes being pushed away is our biggest fear, but being truly seen, really seen, is what saves us. Emma smiled, the same fragile expression now transformed into something radiant and sure. Then I guess we saved each other. Outside, the San Francisco fog rolled in, blurring the edges of the world. But inside Sunrise Bakery, everything was crystal clear, the sound of laughter, the smell of fresh bread, the knowledge that one moment of kindness can ripple outward in ways we can't predict but desperately need, because sometimes, all it takes is one person refusing to push another away.